things
Do you
like
like
that.
pina coladas?
Do
Do
you
you like
like
getting caught
sipping
in
in
the
the rain?
rain?
I love that my kids are asking me questions right now when they know I'm doing something. So yeah, if you're asking to ride your bike, please go ride your bike. Clearly, you know I'm busy. You don't have to stand outside the door.
There's not
This
a
is
hurricane by you. My
behind the
kids, you're
scenes,
not
kids.
allowed to ride your bike right now.
Yes. So I'm going to get to my beer real quick. It is called All Hallows Treat. This is a delicious, delicious Imperial Chocolate Peanut Butter Stout coming in at 7.6% from, is it Omegang? Omegang?
Omega
Ommegang?
Gang
Yeah, I've never
in
been
New
able to
York.
pronounce that. Yes, it's
I think that's it.
Cooperstown.
I've never been
It's
there, but
also in Kansas City, Missouri. I should have saved this for our George
what?
Romero episode we're going to do after this because it's got like grains. It's a little zombie on the can. Like I should have saved it, but
Oh.
yeah,
Maybe we'll
dude,
just
as soon
pretend.
as
I'll put it on the poster anyways.
do it anyways. Yeah, in our little glass. As soon as I popped this can, I smelled the peanut butter right away, and I love a good peanut butter stout. I went for a run through the woods.
As one
Listen,
does.
I'm like the ultimate white person in that, like, oh, a trail to the woods. Let's go explore and run in it. It's stupid. I don't know why I do this, but I did it. And my quads are hurting because it was an exhausting trail. I ran 4 miles. That wasn't the exhausting part. It was running through this weird trail of woods. And during the month of October, maybe I was training to get away from Michael, Jason, Freddie, whoever. But yeah, so that's kind of what I'm doing. Lauren, let me throw it on over to you real quick to talk about what you got going on as I share this out as well.
So I know I've talked a lot about Sideward Brewing Yacht Money. Well, that is one of my favorite local beers. One of my other favorite local beers only comes out this time of year, and that is Ghost Blimp from Tactical Brewing here in Orlando. It is a double New England IPA with Pacific Sunrise, Citra, and Vic Secret. It's at 9%. And again, we're basically quarantined with the kids for a hurricane at the moment. All activities and everything have been canceled. So I am on my second beer now. I opened the first one. We got our first tornado warning because what else are we going to do? We prepared everything we can. We did the sandbags. We filled the water bottles. We did the grocery shopping. The AC's down lower. Not our first rodeo. So now we drink.
That's all you do.
And we pray the power doesn't go out, but it might go out. But no, I absolutely love this one. This was one of the first beers I fell in love with in Orlando. It's always a little different every year, but it's still consistently absolutely amazing. And so since we knew we were going to be locked in the house for a few days, we popped over to Tactical last night. Had a couple of them on draft and then brought home a couple 4-packs, and I'll be surprised if these last the next 2 days. It's so good.
You know, lucky, yeah, tactical. That one's a good one. Ghost Blimp is wicked good. Very, very much love that one. If you guys are hanging out, YouTube, Facebook, any of that stuff, man, by all means, don't be shy. Come here, come hang out with us. We're
We
live.
have
We
free
have
candy.
comments. Come
Not
on,
really.
kids.
There's stickers.
We've got
We
candy.
have stickers.
We do. We've got a lot of goods. We're gonna be talking a lot of stuff, and we love interacting. That's half the fun for Cantina Hours. This week we did drop an episode, and that episode was actually on like Halloween recommendations, which we talk about like some comic books, some things of that nature. So we did that. Which one comic book I did get? I want to shout out IDW Publishing real quick. Greg Katzman sent me something really cool. He sent me Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. This is a really cool. It's a Burke. So don't murder the locals. This adorable brown bear and small town serial killer Samantha Strong's cardinal rule. After all, there's a sea of potential victims in the big city just beyond the forest. And when you've worked as hard as Sam to build a cozy life in a thriving business and community like Woodbrook, surrounded by friendly yellow animal folk and the aroma of cedar trees and fresh apple pies, the last thing you want to do is disturb the peace. So you can imagine Sam's outrage when one of Woodbrook's own meets a grisly, mysterious demise, and you wouldn't blame her for doing anything it takes to hunt down her rival before the body count rises and Sheriff Patterson starts
Dun, dun,
literally barking
dun.
on tree. This is by writer and artist Patrick Horvath. Yeah, it's a murder mystery. So if you get out there, shout out to Greg Katzman again from IDW Publishing. Super pumped. This book is wicked awesome. So that's one late recommendation I had for the crew, but that's what I got. Lauren, why don't you,
Yo.
if you feel like, do you want to go into what do we got? Some beer news first, or do you want talking about Hopsky Booze for Haley and maybe what we're doing Monday night with those who signed up for the run
Yeah.
and the Patreon?
Let's do it.
Yeah,
So if you've been
I
following us for a while, I'm
will.
sure you've heard about GEEK Booze for Haley. We there's a group of us. We paid after fees and taxes and all that crap. It was $40 to do this virtual run. All the money goes to research for a specific type of pediatric brain cancer called DIPG. Unfortunately, I had a friend lose her daughter to that terrible thing. She should have been 7. She will always be 4, or she should be 7 now, but she will forever be 4. Her name was Haley, so we're running for her. We are now in a competition with the UCF alumni group because they have united for Haley and we're kicking their butts. So, I mean, there's no better competition than when you're doing shit for good. So we are doing great,
I mean,
guys.
yeah.
Keep it up. And everybody who joins, if you join our group, and the link is the top of our link tree, and I'm sure we'll throw it in the chat here at some point too. All my stuff is running slow. I can't imagine why. Maybe there's a hurricane outside.
I thought
But
hurricane season was over.
but we will be sending something. We'll do a little raffle for everybody who's joined, and we will send something. And so far, we want to give a thank you to Stacy, Tabby, Scott, Patrick, Micah, Andrew, Megan, Riley, and Tom, and of course Matt, you too, because this was my friend from high school. So
Yeah.
thank you guys all. You are so awesome. And we are doing our Patreon movie night this Monday night because it is a kind of a holiday. It's a day off. It's teacher planning day. What's your policy on Columbus Day? Well, it's Indigenous Peoples Day. Did you ever see that movie, You, Me, and Dupree,
Um.
where
Yeah.
he
Of
asked
course
about
I
the
did.
policy for Columbus
I
Day? Okay.
did. Wasn't that
Owen
What
Wilson.
the hell? No, it was. Oh, it was Owen Wilson. Okay, yeah. I was thinking for some
It's
reason
one of
too. There was
Josh's
some.
favorite movies.
It is. It's
So
pretty
since we
funny.
have that day off, we will be doing our movie night, Freddy vs. Jason at 8 p.m. that night.
It's also
Patrons
my
are welcome to
birthday.
join, and anybody
The
who has
next day.
signed up for the run. Yes, and we will be because Matt wants to be hungover on his birthday. Who doesn't want to be hungover on their
Well,
birthday?
I have the day off
We
on my
don't have
birthday,
to drink.
so
Smart.
you don't have to look. If you ever join our Patreon, if you ever do anything with our podcast, obviously the number one golden rule is you don't have to drink. And shout out to Megan who's in the chat. And but yeah, you never have to drink. Like that's one thing that we always love to let people know. We do it because we do a beer of the week, but
Well,
you
you
never
have
have
to,
to.
but it can be water.
You
It
water.
can
We
be
play
water.
drink.
You have to drink or
So
you will die, but it can be water.
yes. We like to do little drinking games too when we do it. Like, for example, a little behind the scenes with Freddy versus Jason is that we are going to every time he says bitch, we are going to go ahead and take a drink. So, we might die. But that's one of the things we do. And then, something else really cool that we've done over the last week is, Asheville is a place that's full of really good beer. But more than Asheville, also, Megan, again, you don't have to drink. Just like come and hang out. We like to hang out. It's more about the social aspect. We love to talk about the
There are
movie as it's
episodes we
going on.
record and we don't drink. I also
Yeah,
sometimes
even on
drink
this podcast.
non-alcoholic beer.
Yeah, there's
We have
podcasts
coffee mornings
plenty.
too.
You never feel pressure to have alcohol on this show. Like that's the number one thing. But I will tell you,
I'm too old
over
for
the
that
last
shit.
week, Asheville has been hit, and I love Asheville. We had friends and family there, so decided to raise some money, man. And so I raised $1,000 in a week, less than a week, which is holy crap, unheard of. So thank you first of all to everybody who donated. But I made a Costco run today, and so as you can see here, we went to Costco, man. We got a lot of stuff, hygiene products, diapers, wipes, flushable wipes. We got fruit snacks, granola bars, deodorant for men and women, canned goods. We've got like other things such as like little those like
That's a
protein shake
decent haul,
things.
man.
We spent a
You guys
thousand
did
dollars and we got
good.
a lot. So like some
That
toilet
looks like more than
paper.
$1,000.
Yeah. I don't know how. I was just guessing the whole time, and I was like, this feels about right. And I got to the register, and it was $1,000, like right on the nose. And I was like, wow, hell yeah. So yeah, like toothpaste, like
You should go on The
anything that
Price
we
is
could
Right.
baby for, like I should, because this is the second time I've gone to Costco now, and I've gotten the price right. Like, um, last time I was telling you I'm going to spend $300, and I spent $300 on the nose. So I have an inkling. But yeah, dude, like baby formula is a big thing. We got diapers, pull ups, like just about anything and everything from soap. We got some soaps for people. Anything that we could really think of, we kind of picked up, packed up, put it in my friend's truck. He's loaded down. He's good to go. We also managed to bring in 10 bags full of clothes for donations. So 10 bags, like trash bags full of
That's awesome.
clothes. So we also got that. So he's going to weigh his car too, just because he's like, you know what? I'm interested to see like how in pounds, how many pounds that we got. And so he's going to weigh his car and see all that stuff. So I'm really excited to see that. But dude, it's really cool. He's going to drive down to Raleigh, and he's been in contact with people. He's going to volunteer. We're going to offload, and Yeah, hopefully it's not a lot, but you know, anything kind of helps and counts. And maybe I also picked up because I know kids, man. I picked up children's Motrin, children's Tylenol, all that kind of
Ugh,
stuff.
Motrin, yeah, that can be a lifesaver
That's
sometimes.
that's a big one. Trust me, as a
Oof,
parent,
yeah,
I know.
literally.
So yeah, man, anything that we could do to really help out down there, and it's really awesome. It's a really cool thing. It takes us back to our philanthropy days when we used to raise money for breweries during COVID, and
Which
now
shout
it's
out,
made
I
us.
saw Jay jumped in for a minute. I don't know if Jay's still there, but shout out to Jay who started all that.
Yeah. It's awesome. It's just one of those cool things, man. If we can help out. And so hopefully we don't have to do it again. But if, the hurricane hits hard enough and we have some good friends in Tampa, family in Tampa, Tim, shout out to Tim, shout out to Andrew. They're both down in Tampa, Sarasota.
I did check on
We've
Tim,
also
he's in Ocala, he left.
Good. Chris from the Geek Peak is also there. Amanda, who we know through Chris, is there. So, like, if we got to go to Arms again and raise in and bring in money for Tampa, I will figure out how to get it down there, and we'll do that. So, thank you to everybody for helping us, man. It's good. It's a good thing. And as a prize for you all, you get to see a picture of me in high school. It's a jump scare as we transition to Halloween. I hope you're ready. Wow, look at that. Oh my God. That's me and my heterosexual life mate, Josh. There, you all get to see it. That was me in an army shirt with a shirt underneath of it with jorts. What was I thinking? I don't know. But there you go, folks. There you go. I
That was
accidentally uploaded
random.
that. I accidentally uploaded it. So I was like, all right, well, I've got to show it now. But um, yeah, speaking of beer, we do have a little bit of beer news. Shout out to our boy, the Maynard Brewer, who had texted me yesterday, the other day, some one of those things about the fact that Night Shift Brewing. You might have heard of Night Shift. They are from Massachusetts. Really cool tap room. I like their beer. And you might know another brewery called Jack's Abbey. Great stuff. Love them. Now, Jack's Abbey parents company is acquiring Night Shift Brewing. So the Hendler family brewing targets 100,000 barrels in 2025. So the Hendler Family Brewing Company are adding another Massachusetts brewery to their portfolio. HFB has agreed to purchase Everett, Massachusetts-based Night Shift Brewing. The deal is expected to close in late 2004. Details about the financials, they're not available. I can imagine it's probably pretty hefty, you know, um, vigilante vibes, heterosexual life mate. Yeah, that's my boy right there.
Heterosex mate.
Heterosex. Yes, that's how kids are made, folks. Babies are made that way. Um, the company will employ 300 people, including the vast majority of Night Shift's 16 team. And the expansion is not about growth; it's about building a stronger foundation for our teams and brands to thrive. Um, that's what the CEO and Jack's Abbey co-founder Sam Hendler said in the release, providing resources and stability to brands like Night Shift, Wormtown, and Jack's Abbey. Wormtown's another solid brewery in Worcester, Mass. We'll ensure that Massachusetts craft beer industry remains local and independent for years to come. This is Jack's Abbey's second major acquisition of 2024. As they are, of course, I talked about Wormtown Brewing. They are acquiring them. And Night Shift was started in 2007 by roommates Rob Burns, Mike O'Mara, and Michael Oxton. They began making beers, and they turned it into an official business in 2012. And Burns served as Mass Brewers Guild president from 2016 to 2020. So Night Shift was supposed to also open up another brewery when they in Philadelphia, but that never got off the ground because of COVID. And then they had to source out their brewing because the CO2 issue that came with COVID.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about
So
that.
their beer's decent, man. I have some. I think I still have a can. They make some good sours, things like that, and I like their Everett location. It's a really cool vibe out there. But you know what? Tough to be in the beer industry these days. So that's what I have.
But there's also some breweries in Asheville that are helping out as well. So Dissolver, like they've been regularly posting that, you can drop off donations here. You can pick up donations if you need them. So that's been awesome to see because, a lot of those breweries, who knows how many of them will open and how many of them will stay permanently
Oh
closed.
yeah,
Sierra Nevada did have some damage. It didn't sound like it was too bad. They're far from they're not in that little Asheville hub. They're a little bit
yeah. The
out.
arts district is what got hit hard, and that's like the center of town, basically.
Yeah, like High Wire, I know had a lot of damage. But
High
Sierra
wire had
Nevada will be opening up
damage.
Friday from
Oh,
like
okay,
11 to 4, and they will be giving 50% off of food to anybody who was negatively impacted by Helene. I don't know how
that's
they're
awesome.
going. I don't know if it's honor system. I don't know how they're going to do that, but That's gotta be so nice to be able to get out of the
I feel like
house,
if
go
you're
have
there
some
and you're lying
normalcy.
about that, like that's
There's a
something
special
between
place in
you
hell
and
for you.
Jesus himself, man. You know what I'm saying?
It's
Like,
between you and Lucifer. Jesus has nothing to do with that.
no,
Um,
I'm just saying, like,
yeah, no, I got you. Yeah, that's yeah. I'm
just
gonna drive
tough.
all the way up there to get
Uh,
50% off food and say I was
yeah,
negatively
let me.
impacted by Helene. But what's funny is not funny, but like you watch people during hurricanes, they buy hurricane snacks and they always tell you buy canned goods. I don't know a single person who has
Yeah,
ever dipped into canned goods. What happens is if the people lose power, you then find the Chili's that has power and there's a 3-hour wait to go
they have a
order
dollar
some
margaritas right now too.
even better. Like I remember after Irma, like we drove around Waterford and Waterford had power and the lines at the restaurants were outrageous. We were finally like, "Why are we even out here? We have power. Let's go home and
Stupid.
just make dinner." Because it was like all these people didn't have it, so they were just gonna wait. They're not gonna open up their can of boiled not boiled peanuts. Oh, I love boiled peanuts.
Well,
They're not gonna
peanut.
open up their can of baked beans and, like, heat them up over a candle, like, or whatever camping equipment you have. No, they're gonna go get
Yeah,
some chicken tendies and margaritas.
yeah, that's fair. You know, yeah, fair.
So what are you
I
doing this weekend?
Well, hold on. There's some
Oh,
more out of there. Asheville, first of all, amazing food scene, local food, really good. But Burial's also based out of Asheville, and a beacon of Burial's brand and ethos that is
love
built on
cereal.
is a reminder that even during the most heartbreaking of times, our community will evolve together. And Doug, Tim, and says I'm not sure who's the one who posted this. I'm sorry. They are grateful for Asheville, and so they basically were there going through the damage, giving out free food because Burial's open, I believe, in Asheville as well, and they're bringing in donations. But even more so, like it's really cool that the beer scene in general has really come together because one thing I've seen is like Precarious Brewing here. They
Oh, they've been posted a lot.
they were doing a drive last weekend where if you donated something or you came in and brought something, then you get like $1 off a pint. And then if you go ahead and even like every dollar from the Kung Fu Kitten beer went to basically the hurricane relief in the Brewers Guild. And I know there's some other ones like Benchtop is doing a thing. The Answer's doing a thing. I want to say the
Yeah,
Veil. So
Cyward was doing something.
like the beer community has come together for the North Carolina Brewers Guild, and they've band together, and basically what they're doing is working to get money and things like that to the breweries there because that's the important thing for them if you're in the brewing industry. A lot of the small breweries, I guarantee you, unfortunately, probably not
Might
really going to
not
be able to open
reopen,
again.
yeah.
Like first of all,
This
the insurance is going to be priced out. It's going to suck, but it's just one of those things that is unfortunate. But
yeah.
as
Well, I mean, Mr. Rogers always says, "Look for the helpers," but, we have, a lot of friends in Tampa because it's so close to
yeah,
Orlando, and, like, one of our friends, like, their, water line in their house was, like, 4 feet up, so, of course, I hit him up yesterday, like, "Hey, where are you going?" He's like, "Oh, we're headed to Orlando now, they're staying at another friend's in Orlando," but he sent me pictures of all like, his neighborhood and all
oh,
the stuff inside the house is ruined because of all these
jeez.
houses were flooded, so all that stuff is out by the curb now, and now you have another hurricane, so all that stuff's debris. So a lot
Yeah.
of
Oh,
people, like
that's right. Yeah.
so that's I feel like gonna be a big, big issue over on, the West Coast. But I wish, we had more people in the chat. It's very early. A lot of people probably still work, so I understand. But I'd love to hear some random
Yes.
hurricane tips because some people have some great tips. Jessica today
Yeah.
posted something about make coffee, put it in the freezer, do the ice. So I actually made a huge pot of coffee, put it in a growler, put it in the fridge, and then I took our leftover coffee from this morning, put it in a cup that won't
God, that's
crack in
such
the
a good
freezer
idea, man.
and put that in the freezer. And Josh is like, "Why are you making coffee now?" I'm like, "So that we at least have cold coffee the next I have enough for both of us to have coffee the next 2 days." I prefer it
That's true.
hot,
Yeah.
but, I prefer cold coffee over no coffee.
Yeah.
Although we could
That
probably walk to a
caffeine.
Starbucks, but still. But
Well, who knows?
you don't wanna walk outside after a hurricane if there's down power lines. A lot more people I feel like end up dying after hurricanes. I don't have
Well,
statistics to
it's
back that up.
especially if it
But
floods, people walk through the floodwaters, and that's even dangerous too. Down power lines,
mhm,
debris. If you have open wounds, like that's going to bring an infection, like
get
all sorts
infected, yeah.
of,
Well, I've
yeah,
already seen videos in Tampa of, like, a catfish swimming through a street. I mean, that's not uncommon. I remember when we were little, my brother kayaking in the middle of the street after a hurricane that I
sure.
can't even remember which one it was. I was in high school. So it's not uncommon, but everybody has like little smart hacks. A big one I think is fill up the bathtub. Unless you have a pool, you don't need to, but you fill up the bathtub because if you lose water, you can flush the potty. That came in handy
Yeah,
fantastically well after Wilma. I
especially with
literally
kids.
had like a little candy bowl. You scoop a thing of water, you literally just pour it in the toilet, and the toilet flushes like normal. It's like magic. I mean, I know that's how toilets work, but still, when you do it
Well,
manually, it feels like
you don't
magic.
think about that, right? Like the toilet just automatically refills with water when
Mhm.
you have power and stuff. And so you're like, you don't think about it. But when there's a hurricane, it's like, oh yeah, how am I supposed to flush? You flush it one time, the water's gone, especially, because
Yeah.
your body don't stop needing to go to the bathroom, man. Trust me. And so that's a big deal. People don't realize too, you know, your important documents and stuff like that, you should keep
Having
high,
fire safe, flood safe.
fire safe, flood safe, keep them up off the floor, or on a second floor. If you can get them on a second floor, if you're in a flood zone, right? Know your
But a
flood
second
zones.
floor is more vulnerable sometimes if you get a tornado, especially because
Right.
like second floors, I don't know how it is. Like our house is obviously not wood framed. A lot of them in Florida are not. The newer house is
Well,
not wood framed.
yes, ever
But
since
sometimes
Andrew or
for
something, right?
well, yeah, they changed a bunch of the laws after Andrew, and they have to be like higher after Andrew or something. But a lot of the multi stories though will be wood based on the second floor and not on the bottom floor. So really, get yourself a
Hmm.
fire safe, flood safe, safe.
It's good to have
Yeah,
anyways, just in case, and it's good to know where your important documents are. But like that, keep your medications. Know where your important medications are. Keep them close by in case you need your important medications.
get
Because should the
extra
power
ice
goes out,
for your
yeah,
beer.
extra ice for
Red
your
wine
beer. Yeah.
doesn't need to be chilled, so that's a good
Um,
one. Baileys doesn't need to be chilled, you can drink Baileys plain.
it's true.
Actually, I might put
Um,
that in my coffee in the morning, that's a good idea
I
if
do
we
have,
lose
what I
power,
still have from Spain is a
or if
couple
we
of the
don't, who
liquors that I
cares?
bought from Spain that are good for coffees. Maybe I'll do that Saturday.
Ooh,
I do. I still have a couple from Spain I forgot about. We also have a bunch of the wine still. But also a good thing, speaking of, is keep your phone charging while you're, if you're
yes.
messing around, keep your phone charged at all times. And because you never know if you would lose power. That's another
Well,
good thing.
external chargers are great, and I remember during Wilma, I had an outlet. Why we have an outlet too that went into now, but what that went into the cigarette lighter, and you could put an
Yeah.
actual plug. So we would charge up the laptop and then go inside and watch a movie. The kids have already downloaded movies onto their iPads. They're not allowed to touch their iPads unless we lose power. You might be busting out those DVDs. We definitely have busted out DVDs when
I
the
got the
power's gone out or
PlayStation
the
for,
Wi-Fi's
oh,
gone
well,
out.
how do you
So this way,
watch
don't get
DVDs
rid of
when the
your
power's out?
DVDs, huh?
Wait, you
How do you
watch
watch
DVDs?
DVD? Oh, you know what? We don't have CD-ROMs on our laptops anymore, so I don't
That's
know.
what I was saying. Like, wait a second.
I didn't
How you,
think that one
you
through.
can
I guess
hotspot.
you can get
Well,
rid of your
no,
DVDs.
unless you have an external hard drive.
No,
But,
I
huh.
guess we could plug the TV into the car. I don't know.
I don't think sitting in your car is necessarily a good idea.
Fortunately, in our house, we haven't
But
lost power. I haven't lost power for a storm since Wilma, and Wilma was 2005, I think. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah, that's right.
knock on wood. Or the
Let's hope
front of
it's
our
not.
neighborhood tends to lose power a lot. The back doesn't. So, we'll see though.
Going to a neighbor's house. So yeah, a lot of people obviously go to like hurricane parties. Be smart. I mean, if it's going to be bad enough in your area and you need to evacuate, obviously do, like
If you're
if you're
if
in
they're telling you to evacuate, get the fuck out of there.
if you're in like Tampa and they're saying, yeah, it's a category 4 and it's bearing down on you and this might be the worst, then you know what? Better safe than sorry. I'd rather you be alive, come back to a house that doesn't get touched
Well,
and be like,
Tabby was under
oh,
mattresses during Andrew with no roof, and she said that she wishes they had it. Like they had to live in a trailer for months while their house was rebuilt because
jeez.
Andrew took a turn. It was supposed to hit Broward, so we were in
Yeah.
Broward. So we drove forever to Orlando. They stayed in Miami, and then Andrew last minute shifted and whacked the
Well,
crap out of Miami.
that's what people don't realize too. Like hurricane, listen, Lauren and Erica and Tabby and Tracy all found out just how nerdy I can be with my weather.
I know. I'm like,
Cause
well, I'm finding out about hurricanes from Matt. I'm not, and he's in Virginia. I'm in Florida. He's the
I,
one letting me know.
I don't even know. There's apparently another one that's going to brew up after this one. And it's going to be
I know
hitting
Ian's been
relatively in this.
telling me too, because Ian's been giving us like, because he's on top of it, because he's in the Air Force, so he's been sending us updates as soon as he gets them. And I'm like, I got to go to New York next Thursday. I'm supposed to be in New York a week from today for the Comic Con.
Start just, you know what, come up here to Virginia, then you go to New York just to be safe. But yeah, dude,
Leave tomorrow.
the biggest difference between like the hurricanes, they kind of wobble a little bit as they do their stuff. So the difference of even
You want
5
him to wobble.
miles, well, yeah, like even the difference of like 5 miles can be the difference between catastrophic, devastation. So if you come back and like, oh, there was no reason to even move. Oh my God, these storms can move at the last second. Like Katrina kind of did at the last second. A lot of people don't really realize that.
Oh my god, do you
It's,
remember you probably don't remember. So, Katrina was a rough year, but that was around the time that we got, like, a lot. Like, what year was Katrina? She was
it
05?
was '05. Yeah.
Okay, so '04 was a lot of them, and there was one Gene that hit us twice. This bitch literally
It like
hit
came out in
us,
the ocean, came back. Yeah,
looped
I remember.
around, and came back and
Yes.
hit us.
Like,
It's like, "Are
well,
you
I think
kidding me?"
like maybe this is Mother Nature's way of saying like get Ron DeSantis and his homophobic racist shit out of office because we're
Of
just
like,
gonna
"This
keep
was years
hurling
ago, but that was
hurricanes at
before
you now.
him."
It's just like boom, 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 wiping out all those people. But like,
It's
yeah,
extra
dude,
rough
like,
when it goes in the Gulf. The Gulf is just too warm, they just get too strong in the
and it's even
Gulf.
hotter now, right? Like Lauren keeps drinking
Yeah.
9%. No wonder she's watching. Yes, Lauren's gonna be wobbling.
I am gonna be wobbly after this. Maybe our
Yeah.
Night of the Living
Anyways,
Dead episode will be extra
we're all
fun.
gonna be
Stay tuned for
dead.
that Monday morning.
Um, Anyways, let's go on to the happier things. You asked, what am I doing this weekend? Man, that's a good question. Carrie's off. I'm off Friday through Tuesday. Yeah, thank you,
You
government
should come to
holidays.
Florida.
Well, I am in 2 weeks.
Hopefully. Well,
Maybe.
yeah, but
Hopefully.
this Friday, I'm hoping to God everything works out. My daughter's doing her first Drinking Around the World at Epcot on
Oh,
Friday.
you're
Everybody, we
right.
have
We
friends
should have
coming
just
up
came
from
this
South
weekend.
Florida, friends
Well,
coming from Jacksonville. Well, if you were just gonna come this weekend, who knows what would happen? So it's like a bunch of my friends were planning on coming Thursday night, and now they're coming Friday morning. So we shall see because this storm slowed down. It was supposed to be hit at like 2
yeah.
a.m. tonight, and now it's hitting at like 8 a.m.
And then,
But like we need it to be gone, and we need the roads to be safe
yeah.
because I
No,
mean, yeah, people are coming from Fort Lauderdale.
we're still,
We got a lot
yeah.
of people coming from Fort Lauderdale. I hope.
Hopefully.
It's my
Yeah, I'm coming in
kid's
2 weeks.
first Drinking
Okay. We
Around
got
the
tickets to
World.
the
It's a big deal.
Packers. It is a
Oh
big deal.
yes, we do have tickets to the Packers. Okay, but what are
So,
you doing this week? And let's not jump the
oh,
gun. I'm sorry.
well, it's October. We found a couple pumpkin patches. I think I'm gonna go pumpkin picking this weekend. It's with Charlottesville
Ooh.
and the mountains. Blue Ridge Parkway, I think, is closed, the whole thing. So unfortunately, probably won't do that. But yeah, shout out, this is for you, Lauren. Hopefully, yeah. I mean, Lauren, you guys, just hopefully everybody's fine. All in all. But
I definitely appreciate that. There are times where they do get scary, but being a Floridian, I know we're going right back to hurricanes. I'm so used to it. And what's funny is like I was at yoga yesterday and there multiple people were in the lobby talking about how all their northern relatives are more worried than they are. So it's like when you're
because a
so
lot of them
used
don't
to
know, like,
right, we know what to do at this point. We've prepared, now we just wait. And like I think one of the bigger like Erica just checked into a hotel because she always loses power. And she's not checking into it for safety reasons, she's checking into it for comfort reasons. But the only time I'm happy I don't live on the beach is when we get a hurricane.
I hope her skeleton somehow finds its way at my
Oh
house.
my
That's all I
god.
gotta say.
So she has one of those 12 feet skeletons and she's been sending Matt and I pictures and she brought it inside and he looks
Dude.
so good inside.
Okay,
It looks
I'm gonna save one of the
amazing.
pictures that she sent. I gotta find it. So in the meantime,
Yes.
I'm gonna go back to pumpkin picking. We're going up to the mountains. Micah
Yes. Pumpkin
sent me a
picking.
couple recs. We're gonna go up to the mountains. Probably there's like some cool places up there. Pick some pumpkins. Around here, what we did last year, there is you could go to this farm and they let you pick a pumpkin and then you go into this gated area and you can actively carve pumpkins with goats. And so like the goats are like trying
I
to eat
remember
the
those
pumpkin.
pictures. Yeah.
Yeah, the goats are trying to eat the pumpkins and they're like getting inside and it's just like, wait, what the hell is going on? And it's like chaos, it's mayhem, but it was so much fun that yeah, it was. So we might do that too, but most likely we're just going to go up to the mountains like an hour and a half away, an hour and a half drive or something like that, pick some pumpkins, enjoy the scenes. Cause this time of year, the foliage, top tier, dude.
Ooh.
Top tier
Ooh, I
fall
didn't even well,
vibes.
I guess if I head to Central Park, I might see some in New York. Well, I was in Maryland a week ago. There was some that were changing, but it wasn't that full.
Well, when you go to New York, you'll see a lot. Right now it's like peak foliage in New England. You know me, I love my fall, my full everything. Just oh god, it's a top tier. So I think we're gonna do
So
that.
this hurricane is bringing in 60-degree weather.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be 65 here tomorrow.
It's
Oh man, I got the
getting down
window
to something like
open.
that here.
I got the air off. Like we got the windows open. It's coming through. Of course, Carrie's complaining she's
Hopefully we
cold.
don't have the air off.
Harper had, the air up to 91 degrees the other day. And I was like, I'm sorry. What is this? She goes, I was cold. And I was like, so you,
So she had the
first of all,
heater on?
No, it was air still because she doesn't know any better. So she's tall, which is for better or for worse. She's tall, and so she just like reached up and like was hitting the button, and then I didn't know this because they wake up, the kids kind of get themselves going, and so I come downstairs. I'm getting hot because I'm out here just running around cleaning the house, all sorts of craziness, and then I'm like, hey, why does it say 91 degrees? Like it wasn't at 91 in the house, thankfully, because it was a perfect 67 degrees in the house from overnight. It was awful, just awful. It was stupid. It was terrible.
Mm,
I
come on.
wanted to throw her away. Yeah.
Nope, you
So
gotta keep it on if you're coming on.
I'm
I don't
down
blame
to.
you. Logan just ran in here dressed like this. Okay, bye. I
Oh,
love you.
hey, Deadpool.
Okay, shut the door,
You,
guys.
you never know who's gonna show up. Oh, why is this not downloading the whole way? Oh no, it did. Okay, cool. Okay,
That's the DiGiorno box.
is it showing? Oh, it doesn't want to show it. Let me try this again. It for some
Isn't that like one of those
reason,
cliche things like you never touch the thermostat or dad will kill you?
Dad knows, and I know, and I don't. Don't touch the thermostat. And it was set at. And I think again, if she had turned the heat to 91, we would have beef. But yeah, it
That would be
was
so freaking hot.
like, and when I'm driving in the car, Oliver too will sit there, and then it's like he turns his side of the car up to the 80s, and I'm just like, I'm gonna die. I get hot too easily. Okay. Like that's my problem. For some reason, I get hot very easily and I get angry when it's hot. And
I
so
get
I'm just
angry when
like,
it's cold.
yeah,
I get
when
like
it's, oh,
unreasonably angry when I'm like looking at the temperature. It's going to get into 61 next week down here, which
that's
it should
amazing.
be good. And it's funny, your thing says I thought hurricane season was over. Hurricane season, I think, ends November 1st.
It does. But do you remember, oh God, what the heck's the name of the movie? It's, Pineapple
Twisters,
Express.
Pineapple Express. Vaguely, I
Yeah. Like
remember it. It's been a
he's
while.
like, I thought hurricane season was over. That's what like, it's
Oh,
from one of the shows he's watching, something stupid like that. But that's kind of what I'm getting up to. Aside from drinking around the world, so you're gonna be drinking around the world, hopefully. What else do you have going on this weekend?
that
If anything, that was it.
I don't know. Everything's up in the air. Like we were supposed to go drinking around the world on Friday. I was supposed to have multiple friends staying here this weekend. We were supposed to go to a bottle share Saturday. There's a really good Oktoberfest going on Saturday. Everything is at the mercy of the weather now. But I will be ending my weekend on Monday with a little Patreon movie called Freddy vs. Jason. But like the kids have 6 days
Yeah.
off. The kids don't have school again, and we're not bringing them to drinks around the world. We're gonna have my mother-in-law pick them up. Now,
Right.
who knows what the hell's happening?
Oh God.
I'm just gonna cry into my beer.
It'll be okay. It'll be all
So
okay.
nightmare weekend though. Are you excited for that? Are you going to the con? What's going on?
Oh, that's right. Yes, this weekend in Richmond is a Nightmare Con Richmond. Like John Carpenter is going to be there. It looks like a good time. I went last year. It was pretty fun, I gotta say. And so, yeah, I think I'm going. I got press passes. Carrie and I went last year. I'll probably go by myself. Maybe I'll take Oliver if he's up to it this year. But there's some of the actors who played Michael Myers, some of the actors who played Jason Voorhees. Real quick, let me show you. Boom, there's a skeleton right there. Look at this.
Ah, it
Look at
looks
this vibe.
amazing.
Oh my goodness. Like this is the ultimate vibe right here. It's so sick.
So what's funny is she said so when she brought it into the living room. It's so funny because Erica's texting me right now, and I would be like, "Hey, your living room's on our podcast."
Look at that. There's
Um,
pumpkins up there, even with the light. Come on.
Well, they just had
That's
their shelves painted. It looks so good with all the lights and everything. So she put it in there yesterday for the storm. And when her son came home from school, and which he's older, he's a teenager, it scared him when
yeah.
he walked in the door. And this morning, her
Oh,
husband got up and it scared him. She's like, I should have
love
put a
it.
camera out there.
I love it. Oh
But
my
it looks
God.
so good. I feel like it should stay inside. I mean, it looked,
I
she picked it
truly
up.
think that thing should stay inside.
So she got it last year and then she kept it up for Thanksgiving and Christmas. And so for Thanksgiving, she put a bib on it and a drumstick in its hand. And then for Christmas, she put a Santa hat. But like,
That's what I
how
want to
cool would you
do.
look over a Christmas tree with that Santa hat too? He's
Have him
12
pretending to
feet
put the
tall.
star up. Come on.
Yes, that would be so cool.
All right. We're going to talk her into this. Anger from the heat, a true sign of the emo lifestyle. Megan just gets it. You just get it. But yeah, dude, Nightmare Con Richmond.
Oh,
It's a
he's
Comic
on.
Con.
And his living room was just on here. He said the skeleton is scary as hell. That was perfect timing.
Ring, ring, ring. No, we got to keep it up, man. You gotta now you gotta leave up. Like, you gotta do
It
this
looks so good. Ski, she needs another one. She needs
for
2,
the
one for outside
cause,
and one for
man.
inside.
Okay, like imagine that thing. Like, you come down, it's Christmas morning, the vibes are immaculate, and there's the skeleton hanging up
Although
a
she did say
star.
there's a lot of lizards inside now.
Yeah, it is your house. It is your house. It's too funny. It is that is too funny. I'm watching your Hops news, but it's coming in and out, and I just saw my skeleton. Haha, Erica. Yes, you did see your skeleton. You did indeed. Uh, but aside from Nightmare Con, which is all weekend, um, for my birthday, we're not really going to do much. Um, I decided that my birthday gift would be the Packers game in Jacksonville and also Disney. So we're coming down to see you. That's my birthday gift. So I'm not getting anything. Um, so I think I kind of want to go see some Civil War battlefields, man. Like something about that. Do some ghost hunting. I don't know. I think that would be pretty badass. Uh, but that's all I kind of got. The decor is really inviting. Yes, it is. Actually, it is. And Austin, look, man, I love you. You're my homie. I see you out there. Austin running in his banana costume. Now I'm expecting him to run all of his cross country meets in different costumes. But
Maybe he'll wear it to the football game.
oh, that's right. Austin is coming to the Packers. Yeah, dude, I'm so excited. I can't believe I talked
You mean the
you.
Jaguars game?
Oh God, I talked you fools into coming to a football game with me. You have no idea. Oh
Is the landing
Lord.
still around? I feel like if the landing's still around, I don't. I bet the landing's not still
There's
there.
breweries nearby and there's a distillery nearby. And Austin, you might get to learn how to drive a car for the first time on the way home. That's all I can ask you. But I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm pretty excited. Pretty excited. Can't believe I talked you guys into it. I cannot wait. It's exciting. But we do have some talking points, Lauren.
Do we? Do we now?
We do? You did. You came up with some talking points.
Do you have a cheese head, don't you? Are you bringing your cheese head?
Probably. Ski wanted to wear a cheese head, didn't he?
Well, he was the one that was asking if you were bringing a proper cheese head.
Landings is gone. Do I have a proper cheese head? I do, and I have the overalls. I'll have to send him. I'll text him a picture. I have overalls. I've got 6 different jerseys. I've got a jersey for every member of the group if you really want one. Okay. I've got the big overalls that you're
Probably
going to see a
clash
lot
with
of
my
people wearing.
Jacksonville Jaguars outfit.
It's probably going to be way too hot to wear overalls, anyways. To be honest with you, it's going to be so fucking
Who
hot
wear them with
still.
no shirt like a farmer. It is
That's some real
Jacksonville.
Wisconsin. That's some real Wisconsin stuff.
Duval.
Dude, I've been to that stadium before. It's actually a really fun stadium too. Oh, send him a link. I will. I will. I bought them on I think it was the Packers Pro Shop. I bought them on last year. The overalls are comfortable. I wear them. I wear them around the house sometimes. Really comfortable, man. I gotta say. And every cheesehead, you will not believe the amount of cheeseheads that are probably going to be at that stadium because Packer fans travel really well. Cannot wait.
They always travel with their cheese heads.
They do.
So there was somebody in the beer Discord that actually took a video of like the cheese aisle in Wisconsin, and like I love cheese, and like this cheese
It's
aisle
no
blew
joke.
me
They sell cheese curds at their gas
away.
station.
But like, but that doesn't surprise me in the least. But like the cheese aisle just kept going.
I've been to Wisconsin many times, and it is a glorious. It's the holy land. If you love cheese, if you love beer, if you love really
Cold
weird foods
weather.
and good foods and wonderful cold weather, it's the place. It's the place for me. I tell Carrie all the time. She's going to be a nurse for the Packers. I'm going to be the guy that gives the tours. All right. We're touring Lambeau Field with your tour guide, Matt Roth, while my wife is a nurse for the team, and I get to go all the time.
That sounds like it'll
Ooh.
happen.
See, Ski, what's up? Like the women in our lives haven't gotten us anything. Carrie said I ain't getting no birthday gift, but we got 6 different gifts for my daughter who's also getting a Disney
You
trip.
just got Packers tickets.
Erica hasn't gotten. Yeah, who do you think's paying for those Packers tickets? I am.
Oh. So what do you want Carrie to just pick something out so you have something to open?
I'll hide in the box. You're right. She can open me. I'm the gift that keeps on giving.
What did she got something really good for you recently.
I don't remember, but I did just
Come
buy the
home with
Mickey
like
shirt from Roosevelt's.
Okay, and didn't she bring home like a fancy blanket from Target with pumpkins on it?
You know what, Lauren? Whose side are you on here?
I'm on her side.
Whose side
I'm
are you
sorry.
on?
If I have to pick sides, I'm going to go with Carrie.
I am going to recharge beer. So I'm going to need you to steer this wheel real quick. Why don't you talk about
Salem's
Lot? Get us
Lot.
started. Salem's Lot. You read the book. I've watched the movie, so you start with the book.
Okay. So the movie just released on HBO Max this past weekend. It's interesting. So if you're not familiar with Salem's Lot, it's a Stephen King book that came out in like the 70s. So myself and Erica, who we were just talking about, and another girlfriend, we all read it this past week. I absolutely love the book. I thought the book was great. There is a lot of homophobia in it, but it is the 70s. Erica said she kept going from the audio version, and in the audio version, apparently Stephen King gives a warning that there's some stuff that didn't age well, and I got to assume that's what it was, because there were times where I was like, what is he why did he even say this? It's not relevant. But overall, the book was fantastic. So before I go into, and I'm not going to ruin the book and I'm not going to ruin the movie, but I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the differences, but I want to hear your opinion first, because I feel like sometimes when you've read a book first, your opinion's immediately skewed. Oh, I was going to grab that for our next episode, actually.
I've got the bigger one in there. Don't worry. I can do that for the bigger one.
So what do you think of the movie? Non-spoiler thoughts,
All
because
right.
I know the movie just came out and it's a Halloweeny movie. So
It
yeah.
is. It's on Max. It's got Lewis Pullman, Bill Pullman, our famous president from Independence Day. He is Bob in Top Gun 2, and he's going to be the Sentry in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So he's in
Wait,
it.
what?
Uh,
Bill Pullman was in it?
no, his son, Lewis Pullman,
That's his
was in
son?
it. Yeah.
Ben? I didn't know that. I love
That,
Bill Pullman.
yeah. Yeah. This movie
Aw.
was clearly shot years ago, like 3 years ago. I think it was actually shot and finished.
Yeah,
And
because
you can,
Ryan's in it. Homeland, not, it's actually not Ryan. I think
yeah,
it's
it's
Ryan's twin
it's
brother
his twin, and he's young, and his voice is
from
high, and I was like, "Wait a second, this had to have
yeah.
been filmed a long time ago because he's hit puberty clearly in The Boys season 4."
Right. So
Whereas
this
in
is
this movie, he
Homelander's
didn't.
son, but it's not Cameron. Cameron is Homelander's son, but his twin brother is a stand-in for him. This was
Yeah,
his, because when you go to the IMDb page, it's not Cameron, so it's his brother.
yeah. So
Okay.
he's in it. But the standout so first of all, my standouts in this movie are, I don't know his name. He's one of the kids in the movie. He's
Oh, the main kid?
out. Yeah, he's the African American kid. I'll have to look up his name. I'm sorry, because he's the standout for this movie.
Yeah,
He
he was
gets it, dude.
phenomenal.
He freaking gets it. Amazing. I thoroughly loved his character. He was so real for everything he did. Lewis Pullman was great. I thought he was awesome. The one complaint I have is that everybody went from non-vampire to vampire very quick, and the movie
Yes.
kind of ended abruptly, which I thought was kind of weird. Like I thought there was going to be more, and the whole way it ended was like, oh, that was it. It was over, because it's a 2-hour movie. And
So
but
the
overall, go
just
ahead.
the kid is Mark Petrie was his name. He is Jordan Preston Carter.
Oh, he
Okay,
is.
go ahead.
He steals the movie for me. He really does. But there really wasn't a lot of. It's about vampires, and you didn't really get a lot of vampires. I guess it moved very fast through the vampire stuff. They did a couple things like killing a kid that I was like, oh wow, they actually went that route. That was surprising to me. But I thought the movie was decent. I got my enjoyment out of it. It was solid, just like, hey, I want to watch a scary movie? Cool. I'll turn it on, have some popcorn, and we just kind of chilled and watched it, kind of shut our brains off. So I did enjoy it. It wasn't like, oh, this blew me away. Awesome. It was just like,
Mhm.
I wouldn't need to watch it again, but it was enjoyable.
So your two complaints were not issues in the book. And so I feel like
Mm,
that
okay.
was one of my favorite things about the book, was that for one, they built bonds between the characters. So
Hmm.
it took time. Like Ben's been there about like a little over a month when shit hits the fan. So he's built a bond with Susie. He's built a bond with the teacher, Mr. Burke. And Mr. Burke, his fate was not the same in the book as it is in the uh, movie. It's a little different, but it was really like they approached it when like the first person saw a vampire. For one, they don't even mention like anything relating to vampires till like 200 pages in. I had no clue it
Holy
was a vampire
crap.
book. Yeah, so I have the book with the cover from the movie, and my girlfriend Brandy had the cover that actually has a vampire on the front. She has like the old cover, so she knew, but I didn't. I'm like, I had no clue this was a vampire story. And so they make a comment, and then you're like, okay, that's where they're leaning. So then the first
Right.
person, and I won't even say the first person, is the first person that thinks they just saw a vampire. When they're telling somebody else, they're like, okay, I don't want to say I don't believe you, because I think that I saw something one day and it seemed very real, but let's break this down logically. And so they act in the book how like if you came to me and was like, "I just saw this," would be like, "Okay, that's probably not what you saw, but I believe that that is what you think you saw. So let's break this down." And in the book, yeah, they were too quick to accept that, and I think that
Hmm.
it shouldn't have been a movie. It should have been like the Mike
It
Flanagan
would have worked great if it was
series.
like a mini series. Yeah,
Yeah.
like a max mini series, like 8 episodes or something. You 'Cause I think you're right because it hurt itself just kinda moving too fast. I feel like if they would have built it up a little bit more, that would
Mhm.
have worked for me. They did try it as a mini series, with McDreamy, I believe. Or no, it was Rob Lowe. I'm sorry, Rob Lowe. I think it was
Oh,
2004
really?
is when they tried the mini series. Yeah, it was a mini
Oh, now I
series.
need
It
to
was a
find
movie a
out.
couple times.
I
Uh,
know there was a '70s movie, but I watched the trailer and Erica said the same thing,
yeah.
like, the trailer was enough for us.
No, the movie
But
wasn't good in the '70s, and then 2004, they did do a mini series with Rob Lowe. I don't really remember
Is
it. Don't think I really
Rob Lowe
watched it.
Ben? I'm
He
curious
might
now.
be. I don't really remember. But the movie definitely would have worked. It was definitely shot a few years ago, so I'm interested to see why it took so long to come out. They rushed through some things, but again, didn't mind it.
Well, I know the
I
strike
have
also
one.
delayed it. I think COVID delayed it and
Yeah,
then the strike delayed it.
that makes sense. That makes sense.
But
But it was
in the book
decent.
yeah, but in the book, you get to know the people, like, they do a really good job with, like they will mention somebody, and it seems like it's just throwaway, and then the person will come back, like, 300
Oh,
pages later, but, like, 'cause you so, like, you know how all of a sudden
they
you see
didn't
all
care
these
about the town at all. Like, okay, they're all vampires.
exactly.
Sure.
Whereas
Like,
in
oh
the
no, that
book
sucks.
right, even if the person was a piece of shit or the person was a good person, you you knew who they were. And I
Mhm.
really like that. Also, one thing they did in the book that you cannot do in the movie was the first I think it's actually like the prologue of the book or the epilogue. They talk about two people, a tall man and a boy, and they don't say who they are. And that
Mm.
takes place later on, but so when you're reading the book, you don't know who this tall man and this child are. And as you're going on, as you get towards the end, you're like, "Oh, now I know who it is." But you can't do that in the movie because you would see them and then you would know that those people survived.
Right, okay. That makes sense. That makes sense.
But
Yeah, there was one character that died, and I was like, "Oh, no," and I thought for sure it wouldn't die, so when they did, I was like, "Huh, weird," and then the movie
Stephen
kinda
King,
ended.
everyone seems to be fair game, and he has no
Which is
problem killing
good.
kids.
I absolutely, like, think that's how a horror movie should be, like, if everybody's fair game, I
Mhm.
fully think you should do that because then it adds stakes. Haha,
Yeah,
vampire
well, I
stakes.
mean, that's why we all loved, Game of Thrones at first
Right.
because nobody was safe.
Ne Old Ned on the chopping block, season 1, you're like, "Oh, he's a main character. Oh my god, they cut his head off."
Yep.
That's how you get people invested, man, for better or for worse, but
That's why The
that's
Sopranos was great
yeah.
too, yeah.
I was
But no,
cool with that.
it's worth watching, but I think the book was much better. I know it's rare that you hear, like, the movie was better than the book. I have heard there are some, like Princess Bride, I've never read the book, but I heard that the movie is way better than the book.
Oh, I've
Um,
never read the book.
and it
That's
sounds
interesting.
pretentious to say, "The book was better than the movie," but the
I
book
know
was
you always
really
feel like,
good.
actually, the book was better because on
Right.
page 74, this happened, and in the movie, that
Right,
never
that's
happened at
what
all." And
I
then
know. It's such a douchey thing to say,
but sometimes you're
but
right because in books, you can do a lot more. I mean, like, you can get away with more in the books. You can words go a lot further versus, like, budgeting constraints or,
I felt like they
runtime
coulda
constraints.
done this well. Like, they could've, like, because when you're reading the book, you can see what's happening. You can see getting to know these people of the town. Like, you got to know everybody in the town.
Yeah.
The opening I thought was fantastic of the movie. I loved all the little nods to everything from the book, like, I knew like, if you've read the book or watched the movie, then go back and rewatch the opener. The opener is really cool. But also, Erica
Hmm.
pointed out they didn't go into the history of the house in the movie, and the history of the house is
Yeah, they seem to build up something about the house, but in the movie, it was like, okay, it's just a house, but, like, they alluded to a lot more with the house.
I mean, the house is on the freaking cover. It's on of the
And
movie
it
and the
also
book.
overlooks the entire town, like, I feel like there was more there, but
Yeah.
they never, like, went into it, I
Yeah, there's
guess.
more there. So read the book. It's a good book. I actually bought it last year and didn't read it and then read it this year. I'm glad I did. And we just bought Carrie, so we're going to read that one next.
Oh, I
Because this was one of
love
his first
the
books.
remake and the original. The remake and the original are both good.
I've
That's one of the
never
rare.
seen either movie, so I'm going to read the book and then and
Oh,
it's a short book too. It's like
dude!
less than 300 pages.
It's
So
yeah, that's once you finish it and watch the movie, That's what we should have. See, had I known that, that's what we should have
I mean, we
done
have
Monday.
Venom planned for next week. We can tweak things.
If you're able to read and watch the movies, we can talk Carrie. I'm totally in because you know me, I'm not invested in these Venom movies.
That's true. I might be able to do that, especially with I mean, I don't have anything to do tomorrow. I don't know if I can
All
watch the
right.
movies,
Well,
but I
I'm
can
not
read the
making
book.
commitments, but
We
if
shall
you end up
see.
getting to watch the movies, we'll see. Yeah, I think we kind of should. I know we have other talking points, but I kind of want to save that for maybe next Cantina hour if we hit more people because we'll be probably back at a normal time with more folks. Because I want to hear about people's talk about candy corn. I want to hear about pumpkin seeds. I want to know about what people think about Halloween movies. So I think we're going to save those talking points for the next Cantina hour if you're cool with it.
I'm cool with
Good.
it. I'll allow it.
Good. I'll allow it. Yeah, we'll do that for next time. Yeah, Carrie. That's the rare instance that I actually liked the remake just as much as I liked the original. So I can't wait. I can't wait. Now I'm really excited. I can't wait. I almost wish we did that for the movie night was watch Carrie, but it's okay.
Oh,
We already
nice.
changed it. Too late. We'll keep that in our back pocket. That'll be another one. But yeah, I can't wait. I don't have any. What do you have any other things before we kind of wrap this up, and then we're gonna go talk about George Romero on our actual recording?
No, I don't think so. Stay safe if you're in the path of
Yeah,
Milton. Hopefully, if you're going to New York Comic Con next week, let us know. I'd love to meet up. I'll be there representing Hops Geek News and Nerd Initiative. Matt will be at Nightmare this weekend representing Hops Geek News,
my life is a nightmare.
and
I'm just
then
a kid. I know that it's
and
not
then we'll
fair.
both be together in like just over 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah, we did a lot. Yeah, man, I'm really excited for that. I can't wait to get down to Florida if it's still there. Hopefully, it'll still be there. Please, no more
Hopefully, we
hurricanes.
don't have a fucking
What?
hurricane
Can
that
a
hits.
hurricane hit Virginia so I can get days off of work? Goddamn! And my work is right on the ocean. I will set up a
Okay,
sacrifice. You can take my work.
I've put up and taken down my Halloween decorations twice, and it is only October 9th.
I'm
Is
not
this
in a
what you
flood
want?
zone. You can take my work. I am giving it to you.
I'm
My
not
work
concerned
is
about
on
the
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 ocean.
flood zone is like my decor is gonna like fly away. Fortunately, most of my decor is nightmare, so it's once it is out, it'll stay out till January 1st. But it's annoying.
Yeah, well, it's still annoying. Listen, hurricane gods, if you hear me, I am offering Virginia, the east, the shores. Listen, sacrifice. I'm far enough away. Psh, I'll get some wind. I'm good. I just want you to take my workout so I can get some days off or something like that. Like, I don't want anybody to die now, but if you want
I
to
know.
just you could come up
Hurricane
the
days
East
were more
Coast a little
fun
bit.
back in the day. They're
Yeah.
more fun when you don't have
Yeah.
plans.
Plans or adult shit or a house or bills,
That's the
everything
thing is
is
like
better.
Josh doesn't have a local job, so he's still working every second he can.
That's true. He can work kind of from home.
Someone's
But
got
no,
to
I
pay the
mean,
bills.
it also does suck because like people paid a lot of money. Like I know the Wish was supposed to set sail October 11th. They had to cancel. So I feel bad for like everybody who was supposed to go on their Disney cruise and then everybody who went down for Horror Nights, everybody who traveled
Yeah.
down to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween. I do really feel for the people's vacations. Like obviously I want the people who are in harm's way to be okay.
Right, that's more
Um,
important, but it does still suck if
that's
your
more
vacation
important.
gets canceled.
But like
Like, I'm a
this is a
Floridian,
once
and
in a
I understand
lifetime.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, for a
this is
lot
a
of
once
people,
in a lifetime.
100%, yeah.
They spend thousands. Like, luckily, the Wish has said, "Hey, in Halloween Horror Nights, they've been like, hey, we're giving you your money back, and 20% off towards future purchases." Great, but it still sucks because you took that time off of work. Not everybody can have the luxury of doing that. You're really excited. You're going to get to do this, and it's like, oh, great, hurricane's coming. Now we can't do this. Um, Sick. What do we do now? So hopefully everybody's okay. Um, Before hopefully Lauren does not lose power, but we are going to hop off so we can go record our actual episode that will be out on Monday. And then Monday, October 14th, if you joined our run club, Hops Geek Booze for Haley, or you're a Patreon, whether you want to spend $1, whether you want to spend, $5, which is the high tier, it's just basically supporting the show. Everything goes back into the show. We pay for
Yeah, we
StreamYard. We
don't
do
actually
live.
get a penny of that. Yeah.
We haven't seen a penny. Like everything has gone into
Nope,
like these pint glasses to stickers to
which we sent to you
the
guys, yeah,
services we
the
use.
StreamYard, yeah.
we try to take care of everybody. Our Discord channel's there. So go to linktree.com or linktree/HopsGeek News. That's where you can join like our Discord, join our
Actually, the
Patreon.
Discord link is not consistently good. So if you do want to join our Discord, shoot
Discord.
us an email at hopsgeeknews@gmail and we'll send you a fresh link because those links tend to expire. So I
Oh,
have
I
tried
didn't
to
know
send
that.
one before. Yeah, and so we probably should take that off of our link tree. I discovered that yesterday and meant to text you.
Okay.
But
Well,
there
if you
is
want
a
to join
link
the
on
Discord,
there to our
yes.
Hops Geek booths for Haley, and you can reach us on Instagram DM, Twitter DM,
Email,
email. Yeah,
Facebook, like it doesn't
I
matter.
don't
Just shoot us a
think
message
you
like,
can
hey, I
reach us.
want.
Do we have a
Well,
DM on Facebook? If we do, I
no, you
haven't
can
been
just
checking
DM
it.
me on Facebook. I'm
Oh,
like,
okay.
I wouldn't recommend that because I'm very bad about checking DMs. Very, very
So
bad. But
Instagram
Twitter,
or Gmail, because I check those.
yes. Instagram, I check Twitter. I do check Twitter. Threads is another spot you can catch us on, which is a product of Instagram. Or you can join our Facebook group, facebook.com/HopsGeekNews. And then for our Patreon, patreon.com/HopsGeekNews. We are going to watch Freddy versus Jason Monday night. My birthday's the 15th, so we're kind of doing like just a fun get together. And then,
All I remember from that is there's somebody from Dawson's Creek in it. That's literally the only thing I remember.
there's a couple. One of the dudes I'm pretty sure was in Supernatural as well. I have to look into it. But
Yes.
and then another dude was actually in some of the Goosebumps and things. And then Kelly Rowland is one of the
She was
actors.
in one of the Halloween movies, wasn't she?
No, she was in. I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Busta Rhymes was in one of the Halloween
She
movies.
know. Oh, dude, Busta Rhymes was his famous line. You don't remember? Trick or treat, motherfucker. That
See,
was
I
his whole
watched
thing.
some of those
Yeah, dude.
because
Oh,
it was
that
just
was the
trendy at
one.
the time.
They got the teens to go live stream themselves in the Myers house all night, and then
Yes,
Michael
but
shows
they had
back up.
set stuff up, right?
Yeah, they were at first. It was like jokes because Busta Rhymes was trying to play a joke, but then the actual Michael was there, and then the whole thing cumulates. What? Accumulates.
That's not a word.
Maybe I did, but he in the basement of the Myers house, and then Busta Rhymes is fighting Michael, and then his big ending line is "trick or treat, motherfucker," and pop.
Oh, I do vaguely remember that.
Tom, welcome. Thank you. As we end up Nerd Initiative. Speaking of, we did a really cool interview last night with Scott Snyder.
Oh yeah.
Dog, we got to sit there, and Scott was a freaking gem. He has some really cool comics, one of which is a horror comic about a serial killer who's on the loose, and a cop is going after him, but the cop has dementia. So it's kind of
Ooh.
like a thriller, like, oh, dude, it's
And
giving
he
me.
was Pluto at Disney.
Yes, and he was
I
dude,
learned
Scott.
that from
Oh my
Sean's
god.
not Sean Metal Corners, the other podcast. I learned that when I listened to his
Yeah, Capture
interview.
Life. Yep.
I was
Yeah,
like, "Oh,
dude,
this is so fun." Scott
Scott's
Snyder
the
used to
best,
be
man.
Pluto at Disney.
He's going to be at New York City Comic Con. So, Lauren, I need you to go say hi for him on my behalf since I
I know
won't be
because
there.
I didn't get to say hi for him at MegaCon. I don't remember what I was doing.
I did, but you were off doing something. But go and say hi and tell him I said hi. And then Absolute Batman's
Oh, you
out.
couldn't sit still for the psychology of like Spider-Man panel.
I tried. Yeah, that's why I tried, but it got too. Yeah. There's a gnat, but all right. Anyways, Midwestern goodbye aside, make sure you subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. We are going to be recording our main episode for Monday. If you want to go back and listen to Halloween recommendations, we talk about comic books, movies, TV shows, all the good stuff. And now we're going to go hop on and talk about Night of the Living Dead, recorded, of course. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. We'll see you soon. If you're in the hurricane, please stay safe.
Stay safe.
And yeah, man, we'll see you soon. All right, that's cool. It does that.